What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I bet you saw Angel on the thumbnail. You're probably pretty freaking excited. OTA, did he get buffed? Don't be. Cut the excitement. He still freaking sucks. And our OTA today is a lot like last ones, where we have a lot of threats in the meta that have been neutralized. Last OTA, we kind of had the Nerf apocalypse, and all the cards that survived that one finally got hit on this one. And stop me if you've heard this one before, but
people keep asking if I'm back. I'm thinking I'm back.
yes, he is back yet again. He kind of had a lift off with Lockjaw, but now the Mind Stone is back to its old state of a 1-cost, 1-power card that is the engine behind Thanos decks, with on reveal, drawing 2 stones from your deck. Now, if you guys remember way back when, I made a full video on how to play Thanos, and although pretty much that entire video is irrelevant now, all the stones have changed, Thanos have changed. The main thing from that video was the Mind Stone is the engine of Thanos, if you will. Playing this on turn 1 is almost a snap condition. It allows you to draw into your deck, and then those get more stones that draw, and then you can really get things going. And it makes Thanos extremely fun to play. On top of Lockjaw got buffed last time too, and so we're going to have all of this together. I'm unsure if that means that Arishem is just going to be with Thanos, and that's going to be the new, best deck in the game. But I mean, it's cool. It's cool to see. The new Thanos is very fun to play. It's been kind of missing something to be uber successful. And so, we had a good couple months break, and now we're here. The summer's ended. Thanos is back. Now, some of the other buffs include today 2 destroyed cards in Lady Deathstrike going up to a 5/7 from a previous 5/6. And ladies and gentlemen, Angel is going up to a 2-cost, 3-power card. Let's go ahead and start with Angel. He was one of the very first Marvel characters ever made, and the Snap team could give a damn. He's been awful in the game for a long time. He has a less than 0.1% play rate within the game. His win rate is like 40%. He's a very bad, just a terrible card within the game. And somehow, he might be worse. I don't really know. You can't kill him with Killmonger or do things with Killmonger anymore, and so maybe I'm just not convinced that this is going to do much, and I think they kind of know that too. It'll be interesting. We're going to test it. I think some new builds might come of this, and at least we're getting there, right? Like, we've taken the training wheels off the starter bike, and like Watu took a while. Maybe it's going to take a while to get an Angel that's not too bad. But hey, man, I will, at this point, I'll take anything that's an Angel buff, and maybe, having the extra stats won't be bad. If you destroy a card, he flies from your hand or your deck to thin it out. There could be something here. Now, in terms of Lady Deathstrike, she has been vastly underplayed, in my opinion, already. And if we just look at her stats, she's about a 53.2% win rate and just not that popular. Really, the things that you're going to see her in are destroy shells like this one behind me here. Great at handling the Thena, the Kitty Pryde, things like that. Or like an alternative option to Annihilus. This destroy deck, going back to this, is probably where you're going to want to play her. She's going to be good against Sandman too, who's going to be nerfed in this patch. We'll get to that. But yeah, man, I'm not mad about the Lady Deathstrike. I think she is going to continue to see more play. They fixed her ability, so, giving her power points isn't affecting her direct ability. I think this is a big win for the card, and she's probably going to get a nice bump up in the play rate. And then lastly, for buffs, guys, we have Man-Thing, who I just recently played in the Wheel of Snap. If you haven't seen that, you got to go check it out. But he's going from a 4/5 up to a 4/7. Listen, Man-Thing, not only being, unfortunately, like one of the worst names in Marvel, he's got a 52-ish% win rate. Not exactly the best card, and that's mainly because Luke Cage, right? He's got one answer that completely shuts him down, and then you also have Rogue and Enchantress, whatever. You got a bunch of things that can kill the card. And he's not bad against Silver Surfer. He's not bad against some of the decks out there, but could never quite find a home. Probably the first place that I would play him, if you're just all about playing the Man-Thing, is going to be the evil Spectrum deck of old. This Spectrum deck that kind of capitalizes on ongoing cards. And this one just works, right? And with Ajax, it might have something going here. It's not the worst buff. I'm excited to see if this is going to raise up his popularity. So these 4 cards are going to be your buffs, and coincidentally, we have 4 nerfs as well. Let's go ahead and talk about Arishem. This has kind of been incoming. We knew that Arishem was eventually going to change, and I'm a big advocate for Arishem. I just think he's a very fun card. I think he's good for the game. They have stated here, though, that he has been unprecedented in the game's history on the play rate, and that's for good reason. He allows you to play a lot of cards and things that you may not own. He's fun. You ramp for free. He's still probably the best card in the game. And so it does make sense for them to touch him up a little bit. And I think they're being very generous here. I don't think it's going to do all that much. They're going to be adding, it was 12 cards shuffling into your deck. Now we're going to 15 cards shuffled in your deck. So those original cards that you have in your deck, right, are going to be less and less that you actually draw into, which I think is, again, I'm not that mad about it. I'm going to be honest. I think this is going to be somewhat of a fine nerf, especially when you have Thanos coming into the picture as well, probably with him. So yeah, play rates through the roof. They also, coincidentally, nerfed his counter in Cassandra Nova. Now, I said that Cassandra Nova, I did not see them touching her as a card. Because, you know, it was a free gift to everybody, and you don't want to just get rid of a Christmas. You don't burn a Christmas gift the day after Christmas, but they kind of did. They're taking her down just 1 power point, which I think, again, is completely going to be okay for the card in general. I'm not thrilled how fast they're doing it. I wish they would have waited a little bit more time, but apparently, and this is crazy, her play rate is well above even Shang-Chi's, which is cracked. That's insane. Obviously, we know Shang-Chi is a very good tech card. Maybe not the best example to use Shang-Chi right now because it's Zoo season and there's not a lot of Shang being played around, at least right now, till Thanos. Besides the point, Cassandra Nova going down a power point. Don't get the torches out, okay? The comments. The mob, just hold on. She's gonna be okay. But I do agree. Kind of wish they didn't nerf her quite yet. Now for the next nerf, I pretty much called this one after the last nerf apocalypse, and it's Thena, who was like one of the only cards to survive. They hit White Widow. They're gonna hit the other best 2-cost card in the game in Thena being a 2-1, and she's just going down to a 2-0. And, you know, it'll affect her, right? It's going to affect her a little bit. She already scales very well, and so for a 2-cost card, she's still going to be pretty good. But they, I swear, it's like count 8 months from now, and Angela's going to get a buff again, maybe Bishop, and then Thena's going to go back up. Like, we go on this kind of merry-go-round of Thena, Kitty Pryde, Angela Dex, and then we kill them again, and then we have our Summer of Fun, and then we kill them. So they are taking down Thena. Still going to be a fine card. Still works with Ravonna and all that. But they are going to be nerfing one of the best, if not the best, 2-cost card in the game. And then lastly, guys, it was the last toxic card that did not get hit, and so it rose up above the rest. Sandman has a ridiculous play rate at the moment. He is everywhere in Patriot decks. He's in Red Hulk decks. You name it, the 5/7 is being tamed down to a 5/6. And listen, if it means they're not touching Ultron, so be it. Screw the guy. Like, I could care less. I think he's still going to do what he does. Those decks are still going to work to some degree. I felt like there were plenty of ways once you got used to it to counter these decks. But yeah, they obviously don't like him as a card. I'm not shocked at this. They did address him. They're taking him down to a 5/6. And that's obviously pretty below stat line. That's not going to be good stats. I don't see him being hyper played. And, you know, that's fine, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really see as many complaints against Sandman, or even near as many as like the Doc Ock, the Leech, and whatnot. So as always, want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. It's interesting. I think this is always not fun to get a lot of nerfs. I'd rather the buffs, but I love hearing from you guys. Did they get this right? The nerf apocalypse, did they get it right? Does Arishem still need more? Did Thanos, he's back. Good God, he can help us. Let me know down below in the comments. If you guys haven't, still, I swear to God, I don't know how to increase this number. Over 50% of you guys who watch every day aren't subscribed. And so it'd mean a lot as we're climbing up to 150,000 subs if you just click the red button right here. I think it could be on the other side. I think it's on that side. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Have a great one. Till the next one. Happy snapping.